It's Hannah and Josh here live at BAM HQ, here talking about Forged on launch day.
Woo! Yeah, we're super excited. Thanks so much to everybody that has hopped on early today. I know we launched bright and early. Well,
very early.
Here at least, right at the beginning of the day. Depending on where you are, probably later, right? And we'll kind of hang out a little bit to let people hop in, wherever they may be coming from. So what we're going to be doing, we're going to go over the actual Backerkit page. So in case you haven't looked at it yet, or you sort of gave it a quick glance, we'll just sort of go over everything that's there again, show how you can walk through actually pledging, right, and everything else that's involved there. And then we also have the miniatures. So we'll take a look at some of our production prototypes, right? So you can get an idea on that. And then if anyone, obviously, that's watching may have any additional questions, you can check that out. Of course, we do have a fact section. So if you had any sort of basics that we sort of anticipated, we did put a lot of answers up there. And then there also is a discussions tab on the Backerkit page where you can also comment, do whatever you want.
Yeah, you can always help us add more stuff there if you want.
If there's something that we have not thought about, you can throw it there.
Yeah.
And we'll amend as needed. So, but yeah, I guess we can hop over to the page so we can check that out.
Ba-ding.
All right, Hannah, you want to walk them through?
Yeah, so welcome to the Backerkit campaign for Forge Adventure Series 1. So we start out with our really awesome illustration by Mike Fay, our internal illustrator. Looks awesome, so thanks to him for that work. And then as we head down, got a little note talking about the story behind Forged, which is centered around our little mascot for this project, who is the Forge Master, who's making all of these wonderful miniatures for y'all to enjoy. And so if we head down a little bit further, we have a close-up of the box and all of the prototype miniatures, which we'll be looking over these together today. It all looks super nice and clean, looks good. Yeah, and then heading down, we are going to go over the core box set. So this is the 101 miniatures that come in everybody's pledge for $139.99. So these are all the ones that come automatically. And so as we head down, we've got our 13 hero models. And there's a really wide variety of different types and different folks.
And we'll show you these on camera, so don't worry if we're scrolling through them because there's so much to look at. So
yeah. And then as we head down a little bit further, we head to our enemy squads. So these are all of our 6-up squads for filling out your table real easy and fast with a bunch of variety of different potential enemy combatants.
And I'll say this quickly and a few times throughout the stream because I have seen people look. We do say what scale they all are as well in the FAQ if you check that out. So it is either 30 mil or 28 heroic. So it's pretty much the two. We just don't necessarily always do the heroic proportions on some sculpts. So that's why there's the distinction. Either way, it fits in that 28 world. But so we'll talk about it again too whenever we're looking at the minis. But I know that some people had already asked, so we'll always sort of mention that.
Yeah.
And your average character size is 25 mil base.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
So pretty much anything that is a normal sized mini is on a 25 mil base. So that way it'll work for you if you're using a grid or anything like that for whatever role playing system you enjoy the most. So
these big guys are on 50s.
Those are on 50s.
So these are our 50s. There's some 3 of the 3-up squads that we have. So we've got our Gore Brute, we've got our Strix Bear, and then we've also got our ogres here, the Bone Grinders. And then the big old dragon on a 100mm base that comes standard in every box, so everybody's going to get this dragon. It's Erigard, the Ice Dragon, one of my favorite sculpts personally that we've done.
It was it was pretty good to paint. I had a fun time painting it.
Yeah.
It was cool.
I just love all the details on the horns and the icicles hanging off. It's just really fun. And then as we continue down into the next section, which also, by the way, for those of you, if you are new to backing on Backerkit's new system, like the jump navigation on the side on the left there is so cool. So
you can click any of those links. It'll just take you to what you're.
It's not an endless doom scroll like some other platforms, which is really nice. So you can jump to where you want to go. And then right now we're looking at funding stretch goals. So a big part of this campaign is all of the additional free stuff that everybody can unlock by backing together. So helping us share and grow the campaign means you get a bunch of free stuff. So this is the first segment of free stuff. So every time we hit a funding level over our core base funding level of 145,000, it unlocks new miniatures starting out at every $5,000 stretch after that. So we've got the first 6 that are currently visible for anybody to take a stab at guessing what they think it might be. For those of you that are familiar.
One guy in our community section already guessed all of them.
Oh, really?
Correctly.
Oh, what? Oh, okay,
Yeah.
well, maybe
We had a thread in the community section where we're like, could you potentially guess what they were? And immediately someone was able to.
That's
so
awesome. That's rad.
Not too
kinda
shocking
figured.
there.
No.
And it should be obvious too, but I'll point it out, right? Obviously, times 1 miniature if you see a silhouette, and then if you see a bunch, it is another
It's
squad.
a squad,
So.
yeah.
And these are all, again, included for free. And if you keep scrolling there, you will see as you go, it says also we have 35 rewards remaining. So that isn't it. It's just we are going to continually add new things in blocks as we move through the stretch goals. So on top of the traditional funding goals, we also have backer count goals. So you'll see we will add free as well at 2,000 backers, 4,000 backers, 6,000 backers, 8,000 backers, and eventually 10K. There will be things added. You can sort of see a silhouette there, a little bit more cosmic than the straight up black and white silhouette that we had above. But those are additional rewards too that are just going to happen as a part of the campaign. So.
And I think there's a little fortune cookie at the bottom that says, the Forge Master says, look to the stars to reveal your rewards.
Ooh, wow. Underneath that, we also have social share goals.
Yeah, so these ones are going to be revealed. So the challenge itself and what we are going to be asking everybody to do to get together in the community to help unlock additional items, those are going to be revealed at the backer counts listed underneath. So at social goal number 1, it's going to be 1,800 backers. Then that one will populate and everybody will get a task to go do if you want to participate. And then we have the very last one, which social goal number 5 is like the big grand prize that we're excited. So we just figured we'd show everybody up front what you're working towards. So this is the Malice of Aragard, which is a 5e compatible adventure that we are prepared to put together for everybody if we get to that point and unlock that. So that challenge will get revealed at 9,000 backers. So we're very excited about that. So if we get that far, we've got even more goodies for y'all. So
yeah, essentially, right, to reiterate, these are happening a little ways before each time we would typically have a backer count goal, right? So in a world where you're able to hit both, right, you're unlocking one freebie no matter what, and then you also unlock an add-on for hitting that same goal. So it's like you're getting 2 things for one, essentially happening at the same time, which is really cool. And then if you keep going on, so all the freebie stuff, right, is essentially in that backer count goal section, and then add-ons sort of start from there. So as you scroll down.
Well, just to be sure too, social share goals are also add-ons.
Right. Yes.
Right.
So these are add-ons.
Great.
And then as you go down, you can see, wow, look at that painted dragon. Who painted that? They must be so cool. But so as you scroll down, we also have guaranteed add-ons no matter what. So these are going to continue on throughout the course of the campaign. So you can see the dates tied to them, so you know exactly when to come back and check them out. These will be added to the checkout page through the add-ons. So if you have already backed before these exist, you can just go back and add them, right? So you're able to do that immediately once they are populated into the system. I've seen what they are. They look amazing. Tomorrow is when you will immediately see the first dragon that is being added as an add-on. And not only that, you are going to see it, and then I'm going to stream painting it. So I've been working on the dragon since sometime last week. Got it to a point to where I think it'll be cool to do some finishing touches and tricks on camera, and we'll be doing that. We won't be able to do that for all of the dragons that are available, but at least you'll get a cool intro to what to expect for the stuff that we're adding. So these are all add-ons. that will be available, like I said, at these dates, so you can always come back and check it out. And then I think we're also going to be streaming on these dates,
Yes,
right?
we are. Yeah. So every single one of those dates that's underneath the dragons, you'll also see in the live stream events tab, which we'll get to here in a minute. That all of those are live streaming dates as well. So we'll actually do a live reveal for each of these dragons. If you want to join us for the fun on those days, we'd love to have you.
And then we'll keep going down.
Yeah.
So immediately, we also have terrain add-ons outside of anything else that may happen throughout the campaign. And those are available. We'll show you, sort of walk through it. It's so simple here on Backerkit in general that it's easy to understand. But you can see sort of what's for offer, the prices, and everything like that. We have a lot of different terrain that we want to make available to you. So a lot of things that I know I would purchase multiples of, right, that are just going to be good for generic role-playing needs.
Right.
My favorite is the quest boards. What's your favorite, Hannah? Mine's the quest board set.
You know, honestly, I think my favorite is the crate and barrel set just because they're tiny and adorable.
Okay.
And that's my speed.
All right, fair enough. That's cool. But yeah, all kinds of things that you would want for your minis on a map purpose. So, and then as we keep going down the page, we have the live stream events, just a simple little calendar there for you to let you know. Again, these coincide with the dragon dates, right? So if you're just remembering, it's every few days we're going to be hopping back in, revealing something, updating with anything new from the campaign, showing off anything we can, and just keeping you along for the ride.
Yeah. And I will say we are doing a Halloween live cast, so that's at noon on October 31st. So there might be some extra ridiculousness that you might want to tune in for because it should be fun.
Should we back it real quick?
Oh, do you want? Oh yeah, let's go ahead and
All
hit
right.
the back it button.
So we're gonna hit the back it button. That's all you have to do to hop on in. And there's only one thing that you can click. It's amazing. There's not multiple tiers or anything like that. So you click that. That'll bring you to this page where you then can immediately select add-ons. And they can't see the mouse, remember? So there's a lot of clicking happening that you have no idea that's happening that he's doing, but it'll add to your total. And you can see everything there. So yeah, you can see his updated total. And you can do that immediately, or you can come back and add them later on. So when we add things to the... Okay, he's having fun, a lot of clicking noises. All right,
He's
so...
gonna break the program.
But just remember, right, you can back now, add things now. You can come back later and add things. But definitely come back later as we're adding all of the dragons and any other options that may unlock throughout the campaign. So that's just an easy way to manage it, and it's all straightforward. It's right in your face.
Everything from the add-ons goes to help the stretch goals.
Yeah,
Right.
Anything that you add.
Now.
Yeah, anything you add immediately obviously goes towards the total funding goal, which will bring on more stretch goals faster. So, but if you guys would like, I would like to. We can.
Yes.
We'll show off some minis here, right? So we can start with our adventurers. Now we're not going to do.
Can we do a couple questions real quick?
Oh,
Oh
absolutely.
yeah, if there are questions,
for sure.
totally.
So someone asked, will all the dragons be the same price or will they vary?
They're all the same price. Yeah. So they will all be available individually for purchase at $25.
Will there be a bundle?
There will be a bundle too. So if you are just dragon crazy, you want to get all of them. Basically, if you buy all 7, then one will be free. So that will cut it down, I think, to one. Oh gosh, I have to do math off the top of my head. It's
I'm not going to help.
$25 short of how many 7 would cost.
But yeah, they'll be available in a bundle, and I'm assuming that'll be added. Like the bundle option won't be added until the end when they're all revealed.
Right. That's likely going to be like an end of the campaign.
But we'll remind everyone too. Obviously, when they're all done, we'll be like, and remember, you can get all of those together. So
Carl says,
Carl.
the October 31st dragon better be the coolest one because that.
I mean, maybe I don't
It
know.
might be. I feel like it's subjective though. Like,
Yeah.
Everybody loves different dragons for different reasons.
I know that
I
there
think-
are. I mean, whatever. The one I'm painting now is the coolest.
It's the
I'm putting
coolest
everything
one.
into it. Whoop-de-doo, right? But so there are 2 that I really, really like. That I think Mike did a really good job, sort of making unique. So I'm excited to see those in the flesh. But the one we're gonna show off tomorrow, I think is pretty cool.
Someone wrote, also would love to see a core box plus dragons pledge level,
Oh yeah.
but we only have one pledge level.
Yeah. And I mean. That could, I think that wouldn't change the price other than you adding them anyway. as a bundle. Like that would be the discount that you get. So
yeah, and they are discounted from retail too.
Right.
Yeah, literally everything
yeah.
that may ever be retail is discounted here, and that's another thing that obviously is the reason why you would back now. And then the idea of the dragons, right, in general, is just to keep you coming back to look at new stuff, right? So that's why we didn't want to just do it immediately. It's just sort of something that, over time, if you're not entirely sure that you want this amazing value of really awesome sculpts that you can't get from anybody else, you know the deal with us. Everything is so unique, okay? That's the whole point. But if you weren't on board, come back in a couple days. And then if you still aren't on board, come back in a couple days. And then just do that a few times. And then eventually you're like, okay, there's just so many things now that I can't help
All
but
of
do.
these dragons.
So that's the idea, right? But yeah, I mean, I think it's simple as that. Just you can add it to your cart later. And if you want to double, you want to gift it to somebody eventually down the road. You want to paint one way and another one the other. I don't know. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but it makes it simpler to get extra things. So I think that was sort of the idea.
Are the additional dragons the same size as the dragon included in the core set?
So all of them are scaled the same,
Yeah.
right? Obviously the poses may be different.
Right.
They may be standing up tall. They might be sneaking and slithering. Might be doing different things. Obviously, we
But
don't
they
want.
are all on 100mm base.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I would say, they're all definitely adult dragons. If we're gonna give them classifications that may exist in some other things, adult to ancient. I would say they all have a caricatureful feel. So not necessarily generic styles that you would expect in certain colors, but they're all fitting in that vein. So you can expect things that exist that you would know what to do with. Okay, we'll put it that way. But they are all, unique. We wanted them to have their own spin. Obviously, the
bam flare
the
on 'em.
dragon that we have in the core box is a very chilly guy, right? He has snow and ice all over his body, so you have an idea what you may use him for. And imagining that same vein, come back tomorrow, we'll have another. Come back later, we'll have another, and you'll see sort of the idea that we have for all that.
So I got two more pretty important questions.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
One is, will there be a pledge manager if funds are tight at the moment?
Yes.
Well, no, because it's Backerkit.
Well, yeah, because it's all on Backerkit.
Right.
Yeah. So that's the other part that we're really excited about. That's a great point. So very different than Kickstarter. So because it's natively in Backerkit, so there is a pledge manager technically on the back end. So it runs very similarly as you may have experienced previously. Like, for example, if you backed with Rivenstone, you did with Dungeon Delvers, like we had that secondary back end for the Backerkit pledge manager / pre-order store. So that's all going to function the same way. It's just that now because it's on Backerkit, there means that there's a lot less opportunity.
You don't go anywhere else.
Right. You don't have to go anywhere. Like, it's all in one account, which is really, really nice because
And are people
everybody's on
charged
Backerkit already anyway. So
now or when this is over?
when it's done.
Perfect. Okay. So, other question.
Yes.
This is a fun one. How confident are you with fulfillment and delivery? I have backed another bulk minis project,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they ran out of money, and backers never received their minis.
Yeah, no, that's we're very aware of some of those, and that's such a
Eesh.
huge bummer.
Yeah.
No, we set out when we started this specifically looking at those other companies that have had those issues, and I think we have several factors that are going in our favor that they didn't. And
Also, funding goal. is
funding goal,
accurate,
yeah,
Yeah.
And price point is accurate.
Right.
To ensure delivery and production.
right,
Yeah.
yeah.
All of these different things
Yeah.
were not
Those
only
are heavily
verified,
considered.
but also working with Backerkit as a company.
Right.
Like, it isn't, so if a lot of people haven't used Backerkit in general for a direct campaign, it's obviously like a beta program still. They are a very active company in the way that these projects are managed, as opposed to other crowdfunding platforms that literally anyone can just do something.
Yeah.
Right. So working with them, right, all of our numbers are very much exactly like what we know need to happen. And then on top of that, we do have experience here previously.
Right,
So
right.
Dungeon Delvers, physicals were delivered, and then we're obviously in production with Rivenstone in-house, right? So we sort of know the timeline world, fulfillment world pretty well at this point. The partner that we're expected to work with also has a ton of experience.
Yeah.
So
And we've been working with them for well over 6 months now.
Yeah.
planning this project.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and that's
so-
that's the other part too, is like all the prep work that went into this, because like we already had all the sculpts done, so that's another thing. It's like we have all of the sculpts, except for like there's like a couple of them here and there.
Some of the dragons.
Yeah, some of the dragons, because those were something that we got a spicy idea, and then we're like, oh, we should make dragons. So those are still in the concept phase, but the vast majority of the content in this campaign is already made. So we're not working off of concept art for the vast majority of it. We actually sent all of those digital files to the factory already, which is how we got our pricing. So we know exactly how much that they are going to charge us, which means that we know how much to charge y'all, and then we know what our base level funding needs to be in order to make any of this feasible. So, so that's the nice part, is like we've really made sure that, because we don't want to be those people. Like that's a nightmare scenario, and I feel for everybody involved, because that's just brutal.
Not something we want to do to our community.
No, it's not something we want to do to anybody. So we made sure to do that research ahead of time really hard. So
another couple questions real quick. Is Backerkit all or nothing like Kickstarter?
It is, yes. So because we have that base level funding is 145, so we have to hit that 145K in order for the project to continue forward, which is why you don't get charged until the end.
But we need to hit way higher than that to get all those juicy.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then all those funding stretch goals, yeah. So
if you went over 200 minis, right, for the price that you're already paying for the core box, then yes, we obviously want it to be higher. So.
Yeah.
Will there be box art for the miniatures?
Yeah, so right now there's a smattering of box art.
Yeah.
There will be box art for, I'm assuming, all of the dragons. Anything in general that we're moving towards in the paint department is doing box art for anything that is physically being sold.
Yeah.
So I would assume, yes, right, there will be for everything. And then also we're going to be doing live streaming. This is a set that we have set up, right, now that's new. If you're unfamiliar with us as a company or me, I was doing streams previously before I was moved up here to HQ, and part of that was to start doing live streaming again. Obviously, we have all of these sculpts here, so doing tutorial style videos, anything like that along the way that'll be indexed for when your miniatures arrive at the end of fulfillment. They can be waiting for you. So there's a lot of flexibility in terms of whatever we want to do, and we can be really flexible in terms of like what kind of level of content you want.
Yeah.
If you want it to be tabletop level stuff that's relatively quick to produce, we can do that. If you want longer form things, sort of like box art level painting tutorial, we can do that as well. So I'm imagining, obviously, doing the dragons as a dragon as a project on camera would be cool, and we definitely are prepared to do that. Tomorrow we'll have a stream of me painting something that is box art, so you can kind of get an idea. Hours-wise leading into that, the dragon for tomorrow, you know, there's probably 24 hours ish of work. Yeah, I mean, obviously being pulled a million directions, but
it's been really busy.
I would say there's like 3 solid days worth of work, which doesn't sound crazy, but it is like an 8-hour day, right? So
he's a big boy.
Yeah, and I would imagine we're not going more than 2 hours tops tomorrow.
Yeah.
So hour and a half would probably be feasible. If we go a little bit longer than that, all good. But yeah, we'll try and do painting for everything so you get an idea, and then obviously filling in content gaps. Like I'm already planning on doing stuff with things from this project, so you will at least have some reference for things moving down.
And of
down the road,
course, at any point, if anybody wants to like leave a comment on the project and let us know like anything else that you can think of that you'd like to see us do, like we're totally open to just whatever fun stuff you guys want to see, or like. Any ideas are welcome, as long as it's, reasonable. But
so, see if we're going to ask a question about the other miniatures.
The other campaigns,
I said, that's great to hear. I was happy to read the email for the price increase because I'd rather pay more to make sure I get the minis.
Right.
Positive. And then another person asked, should we assume the same quality as the resin miniatures from Dungeon Delvers?
Well, it is a different product. So I will say this way, in order for us to get that price down, this is actually really great because one of the things that we're known for is we have all of our own interior CO cast, but like manufacturing facility that we do here. And so one of the questions we had early on was the fact that we're switching production methods for this particular type of product. So they are PVC pre-assembled plastic miniatures. So it is a little bit different of a product category in general. This factory that we're working with, though, is really good at doing PVC miniatures because, like, not all PVC miniatures are built alike.
They did Guild Ball.
Right.
They
So
did Bard Sung.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if
Really
you
high quality.
Yeah. So from a painting side, like these are literally the same category as the high end
Right.
PVC stuff that you already expect. So I wouldn't say that they are like cheap board game miniatures.
Right.
You already know what that means. These are the higher quality stuff
Yeah.
that you would enjoy painting. That's kind of like the point of these. So, you know,
it
I
keeps
would
it
say,
affordable, but
yeah, no, and I also would say the quality difference between that and COcast really isn't that huge.
Yeah.
So like it is a resilient material. The difference being it's assembled for you. Cleanup would just be removing mold lines, right? That would be typical for any style of miniature production, period, right? So they're convertible. So if you're buying things and you want to rotate an arm by cutting it, anything like that, I don't think there's any issue there. Obviously, you have to know how to do that in general with miniatures to do that as a part of the hobby. But yeah, these are high quality. These aren't like super cheap, gonna melt in your car window minis. So yeah, I've seen what the factory has done in general with other companies, and I've also seen stuff that they've sent us to look at, right? And it's all good.
And it's good stuff. Yeah.
Are the models exclusive, or will we see forged on your website or at retailers?
So Forge is not exclusive, but the pricing
Yeah.
is. So that's the big drive for this.
Format.
Yes, and the format.
So we probably won't have a big, large box.
Yeah.
Right.
It'll be something if you aren't a part of this campaign over the course of however long things are available to purchase and back, and you see it later out in the wild, you won't be purchasing it in the same way whatsoever. Even if even if the squads of enemies get broken apart, that value alone there is silly to pass up on now. Obviously, if you can't, it's unfortunate. They will be available later, but yeah, the pricing here is awesome.
If you unlock all the stretch goals, it's about 66 cents a mini.
Right.
Retail, they'll be around $4.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that should be pretty easy to understand. Obviously, you're not going to a store and paying 66 cents for anything on the market. So the value's there, especially with the stretch goals. Even without the stretch goals, it's still great.
It's still good,
it's a little
but
over
it's
$1 a mini.
it's hard to beat 66 cents though if you unlock everything. So.
Yeah.
Good questions though.
Yeah, these are great.
You guys are hitting a lot, so that's really good.
That's it for now. Yeah.
Okay.
That's it for now. Okay, so
Show minis.
Mini time.
we'll show some minis. We will start off with some of our heroes here. If we
We have one more.
Ooh, yes.
It says I signed up for the Backerkit before launch and said I would receive a free mini, the Pipe King. I couldn't figure out how to.
It's a great sculpt.
Is there anything I need to do on my end to claim it?
No, so that's a great thing. If you like this person has said, if you signed up on the Backerkit launch page before this morning, everybody that signed up, and you backed. So if you signed up and you backed today, you get that mini automatically. So we just have that marked in our back system. So because we have that email list, we'll just match you to your pledge, and then it'll just get thrown in for free.
It's a great sculpt.
Yeah, it's very cute. It's
Carl
one of our
says,
favorites.
By Ogden's hammer, what savings?
There you go.
That's cute.
What savings?
What savings?
All right, so we've got some of them here that you can check out. So I'm just going to go slowly through each one. We can do a little turnaround for you so you get an idea on scale.
And these are pre-production resin samples.
Yes.
But we are aiming for a one-to-one replication in PVC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, any changes that would need to happen would just be a shift for the mold. But pretty much everything that we have selected, we aren't just sort of like randomly picking, right? So we're choosing things that we know would work. So
Are the minis glued to the bases on arrival?
Yes. So they are totally assembled. They're just going to be in vacuum trays, and so you can just pop them right out of the box and slap them on the table and get to playing or painting or whatever you feel like doing with them.
this is a great sculpt, by the way.
I know, I love this one.
Really fun.
It's so dynamic. Plus, I just love the concept of mole people. This is very fun.
Mole people, they're always beneath you. You never know what's going
Well,
on.
something. I hope they can hear me. Actually, I'll do it.
I think they can hear you.
Can you guys hear me okay in chat? Give me a thumbs up.
Okay, can you hear the ghost in the room?
The corner ghost.
I got nothing yet.
Oh no.
Oh, there's a delay.
yes, they can-
There's a delay.
Okay.
So, we are also planning a full-on, what did we'll call it? A D&D style campaign? Is that what it is?
So there is a
Sorry.
plan for a campaign supplement that all of these things would live in the future, as well as other
Yes.
products that we release.
Right.
So this project if that is something that interests you and you followed the company for a while, just know that there is a world that you can use eventually with everything that we're going to be putting out that fits into our Daymore is sort of the at least working title that you all know and are familiar with setting. So there will be a setting that happens. Obviously, the adventure, if that gets unlocked as a part of the social stretch goals, that will also be set. Yeah, that'll be set in that world as well. So all of these things can exist in a 5e setting for you.
I think timeline for that too, so everybody knows, is we will be doing a Forge Series 2 once this is done. And I think with that one, we're also going to launch...
Let me get the beak here. There.
We're going to launch that campaign.
There you go. You can see.
Same time.
Yep.
So, I had a question on the community earlier if these will be used in any campaign settings, and I would highly recommend, if anyone wants to do the Daymore campaign, that they also get Forge Season 1.
Yeah.
Especially for the value, right?
It's a good way to do that, and then that also allows us in future campaigns to provide additional things that coincide with what we've provided. So if we want to go back and add additional things to squads we've offered in the past, we can do that, and then that can be an add-on potentially, right, for people that were participating in this one and they get a good value. It just creates an ecosystem that allows you to sort of get in on an entire world of stuff at a really great price.
And it's going to be classes and new types, folks, monsters, everything.
There you go. You heard it from the man himself.
The
New
man
types,
himself.
folks,
The corner man.
classes, everything. Okay? That's a lot. But we're still going through heroes here, all right? This is
These are the heroes from the core set.
These are the heroes. Yeah, we only have core set stuff here. I'm not going to put entire squads up on camera. We're just going to go one by one. But right now, these are all individuals. If you watched the video, you saw some of these painted already. And some that aren't. Like this guy wasn't painted.
So good.
This is a really fun sculpt.
Yeah, the Varg, who's a Varg Hammer Knight.
The Hammer Knight. You can see his sword there. It's a very strange shaped sword for a Hammer Knight. But really fun. Really good dynamic poses. And this is also, one of the reasons for the campaign was, a lot of our community is from the 3D printing community. And there are obviously way more people that are not a part of that for any myriad of reasons.
Right.
It is a stress-inducing hobby in its
failures.
own. In its own, you can imagine what it's like here at HQ a lot of the times when we try and produce prototypes for the first time. But that's why producing stuff like this is much more available for anybody. As someone that did sales of 3D prints in general for my classes that I would run with my last business, having the option to not do that is always a great thing. So we are down to our last two heroes here.
Which there are 13 heroes in total for the core set.
And there's some dust on them. I didn't get all the schmush off.
Yeah, there's some schmutz.
Earlier today, but you get the idea. Hannah's favorite sculpt.
Yay! With the candle on his head.
Cute.
So cute. As the candle. It just kills me. I love it.
Okay. Now we're moving on.
Carl asked, are the minis going to be drop safe? My friend
Yeah.
tends to be a bit clumsy.
Oh
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
the friend. Yeah,
anytime PVC is involved, you'll be fine.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, if your friend is a car and the car is going over a miniature, there will most likely be damage. Okay.
Oh, good question. Are the bases also PVC, or are they a stiffer material to prevent base warping?
Yeah, so
They
these
are hips.
Oh yeah, these are going to be
These are
hips
hips.
plastic.
So your
bases.
answer is, don't worry about warping. We got you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No warping.
We know what's
here.
going on.
We've seen the
Yes.
warping. We don't
High
want that
impact
warping.
Poly.
Yeah.
Oh well, high impact polystyrene, if you want the real term.
Oh
But
yeah.
yes.
See.
So no, they are a different material, so that you don't get warpy bases in your miniature. You set it down and it goes like that, and then you have to try and dip it in hot water, and then you try and do the base, and then you bend something. No, I get it.
Thought about it.
We thought about it.
Yeah.
We're trying to make sure we're offering a minimal hobbying required product outside of a little bit of cleanup and painting, if that's your thing, right? Obviously, I would assume a lot of people too are going to be like, you know how it goes when you play. Your party is supposed to go into the graveyard, and they don't. So all of the baddies that you've painted now no longer matter, and you've got to throw some unpainted kobolds on the table. Cool. All good, right? So
You got backup.
You've got backup. But all of these are for squads, so remember you're getting multiples of these miniatures.
Yep, and there are 12 total of the 6-up, and then 3 3-up squads, which are the big boys we'll get to.
This is obviously the most powerful enemy
Yes.
you will face.
The Mushling Highfall. My favorite. One of my other favorites. I have a lot of favorites, I'm realizing. I don't know if I can call them favorites.
That's my favorite.
Oh, yeah, that one's awesome. That one's actually in the illustration art, so if anybody spies them on the box.
It's also one I painted. You've seen it painted.
Oh, yes, and it's been painted. It's all over the place.
Spooky ghost.
Carl says, I'm too poor to be friends with cars. Some dastardly company breaks both anvils and my wallet with new campaigns all the time.
Oh, no.
Well, you know, it'd be like that sometimes.
It
Trying
do
to
be
take
like
over
that.
the mini world. The little bitty one.
Itty bitty mini world.
It's another one of the painted minis that you've seen. Our fun little wolf friend.
Mhm. I love that one too.
Fun satyr,
Yeah.
or whatever we're calling him.
He
Fawn.
is a fawn.
Yes.
Yeah.
When you paint it, you're gonna have a fun time. I'm sorry. I'll go. I'll
Get
go.
out.
I'll go. I'm sorry. You know, a lot of miniatures are cool because they have tack rocks, but this guy has a tactoon stone. Okay. It even says R.I.P. to your wallet on the bottom. Just kidding. It's a great value. Remember, that's the whole thing. This is a great sculpt, though. Love this guy.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love long fingers on a ghoul? You can't trust him.
Looks
Can't
like the
trust him.
Baron from Out of the Shadows.
Here's another miniature that I painted up. We have
Love
our
this one.
awesome shieldy orc guy.
Oh yeah, the
Really
Hiram.
fun.
The Hiram Rage Blade. This guy.
The Rage Blade.
Rage Blade.
He's really calm and friendly.
very, very calm. Really, it's a misnomer. Then we got our Hook Maw.
This collection's nice too. Depending on how you end up painting stuff, they all could work, sort of crossing over in separate encounters, or you are getting a selection of stuff that isn't just tied to one single style of campaign, right? So you're not stuck to just Underdarky, just jungly, just whatever. You are getting a nice selection. But obviously, too, you could paint these guys to be like cold environment, lizardy folk, right? Then they could fit in with the dragon. You could do the same with some of the undead. They could be like frozen undead, right? Like you could shift them to match another dragon that we're going to be showing off. So you have a lot of different options, which is cool. And then we have some of our bigger ones here.
Strixbear.
Question was pre-primed or bare PVC?
These are all bare PVC.
So you're definitely going to want to prime these when they arrive if you plan on painting them.
Got our big, whoop,
Oh yeah,
turn around. I love this sculpt
this
a
one's
lot.
great. Yeah,
Really, really good.
would not want to run into that dude in a campaign.
I'm a big fan of painting muscles and volumes, and he's got plenty. Really cool. And then our ogre.
The Bone Grinder.
Yep. What's in the bag?
What's in the bag?
What's in the bag? Is it bones? Is it ground bones?
It's just bone meal.
Bone meal? Is it pie?
VCRs.
VCRs. All right, so he's got a bag full of VCRs. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. He's going through Daymore, snatching up VCRs. Okay? Really good stuff.
He's just a vintage electronics fan.
Vintage electronics fan. And then, of course, we have the big dragon, but he would blow out the frame really huge. If you want a size comparison to my head, we'll switch cameras.
It's noggin
There you go.
sized.
So that'll, and then a size comparison to my noggin, to her noggin, and then you're out of luck.
Yeah.
We can't really show anything else to scale that. So
Someone commented on the pre-primed or bare PVC, said, good. Some other Magic Children's models have bad pre-priming.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to do pre-priming. I feel like that's something that if anybody's planning on painting them, it's probably best to let you do it the way you like to, rather than us making that decision.
And obviously to do it correctly, the increased cost on a miniature would probably double the price.
Yeah.
Honestly, because The only way that some other companies are able to do it cheaply is because they're doing it with like an auto primer applicator, which is a huge airbrush,
spray.
which is literally causing the issues that people don't like that for. It's the only way to do it like through a machine, and you can't do it the same as you would by hand. So.
Right.
And I'm someone that zenithols literally everything, so I would always add new primer to anything. I don't care what it is. So, but yeah, that is all of everything right now that you immediately can see. Obviously, too, we have the terrain that are add-ons.
Right.
We are just showing off what's in the core box, since that is the singular pledge for now. And then again, we have the first dragon happening tomorrow. That'll be revealed and like physically revealed. I'll have it here, and I will ruin it with paint. You know, I've been spending all this time just to ruin it for you. It's all for you. And then I also told Chris at the end of the stream I'm throwing it on the table and shattering it. So no, we won't do it. I would cry.
Just to clarify too, the rest of the dragons are concept art at the moment.
Yeah.
But rest assured, our sculpts look like our concept art.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's what they will be.
It's kind of our shtick. Really.
Yeah, and in between all of that too, I'm sure we will have updates showing what the sculpts are looking like, things like that. None of that is too crazy.
Progress stuff.
So you'll know what's happening. But yeah, really with the direction, at least with the pipeline, the way that it works here, the staff of creatives that we have are very good at making idea, sculpting idea, and now we have physical idea. Like usually the change in between isn't too great. So.
And we've been asked a lot about the size of the terrain. So what we can do is we can probably add more photos that denote the size, but we can also print it out.
Yeah, we can do that.
Show you on camera during one of these.
Yeah, I'm sure we could probably have.
I can do one painting a piece like this. None of that is out of question. Our plan is to do streams in general. If it's me painting another thing out of one of the core boxes, something that was just unlocked, right?
Yeah.
We could do anything with that. So that is again one of the reasons why we're picking everything that we are for this campaign, because it's done. Yeah. It's just getting it to production for you at a wonderfully valuable price.
Much lower price than what we can offer with our in-house manufacturing.
Yeah,
stuff.
we can do that. I mean, that was an immediate question in general, and we can get photos, put it in an update so you know.
Yeah.
So.
Easy peasy.
But if anyone else has any questions for us, feel free to drop them in the chat. Tomorrow we'll be live on YouTube as well. So
I think it's live on YouTube right now. It says it is.
Oh.
I'd be amazed if it was. It told us that we had a
They told us
people
no.
to chat from YouTube.
Okay.
Oh, hey.
They told us that we had a waiting period on that account.
YouTube.
So cool. So but we'll be going live across all platforms no matter where you are. So make sure if you are on Facebook more, follow us there. If you're on YouTube more, subscribe there.
Yeah.
If you're on Twitch, stay on Twitch. Yeah. You like it there, right? Doesn't matter. So wherever you want to be, we'll be live.
We have one question.
You can hang out there.
Halloween costume.
Mine's a surprise.
Yeah, I guess mine's a surprise too, since I totally knew that was the plan.
See, I was gonna surprise you with mine. And now
I don't know how that works.
Well, I'm just gonna show up in the live stream room and throw you off your game.
So I'm the guy that's like, yeah, I showed up. Here I am.
You're always in costume.
Yeah.
Little dig. That's fine. They forced me to do a wardrobe change before we started today. So.
Forced.
And yesterday too. I was told to change clothes because I dress like an animal all the time. So.
It was a beautiful poncho.
It's fine.
I was jealous, actually. Yeah.
We don't have to. It's fine.
There doesn't seem to be any more questions, so I think
cool.
we can end this monster of a live stream.
Awesome.
Awesome.
All right. Well, thank you so much for everybody that has already backed. If you haven't, go now.
Please.
Stop what you're doing. Just stop. Oh.
Carl had another question.
Carl.
What's up?
Do you have a great place for your community to talk to each other about hobby stuff?
No.
Projects,
No.
Like a chat service
Nope.
or something similar.
We don't. The answer is no.
We
no,
do.
Carl.
We do.
No.
We do have one. It's
We
wonderful. It's so we actually have a Discord community. So for those of you that are new to us and what we do, and you want to go and hang out, I'm usually on there. I have been we've been really busy lately, but I love hanging out on there. There is a link in our profile page, but I'll probably just put up I can do an update as well with an invite for everybody.
Yeah.
And then that way anybody who's new that joins in, you want to come and hang out and meet all the wonderful people that we have on our community. Lovely, lovely folks. One of my favorite places to go and shoot the breeze with folks from all over the world that are all loving minis, and it's a great place. So thank you, Carl, for the reminder.
Yeah, we have different channels too. Hobby channel, you can shop painting.
Oh yeah.
Anything like that. There's one for Forge specifically. If you have additional questions, comments, anything like that, you can talk about them in real time there. Pretty much everyone on staff also is in the Discord. They may not be active all day, every day, right? But I'm there frequently. I'm always popping in. Chris is there too, right? So it's a good way to just sort of ask questions, show things, get eyeballs on painting, other friendly people as well hanging out.
Yeah.
So. All right.
Cool.
Awesome. Any other straggler questions before we cut it? All right.
It's done.
It's
All
done.
right.
It's done.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a good rest of your day. Remember, like, follow, subscribe, wherever you're watching from. If you haven't, just double check. You know, please. It helps.
Ring a bell.
Ring a bell icon. Whatever it is. I don't know. But thanks. Keep an eye on the Backerkit page. Again, we'll be back tomorrow doing some painting, some revealing, some things like that. And we're excited. Hope you're excited, too.